New automation that I would like to introduce is the onboarding email automation. This is a great automation to help us to compose a draft. Actually, I don't want that it will automatically send, but it's composing a draft of an email that's showing the clients when we are going to onboard, that we're excited to start to work with them, and additional information that we would like to introduce using this email. So instead of talking about it, let's see how it's going to work. So currently here I have a form. We can automate that with multiple different connection through CRM or any other integration. But what we are doing here, we are going to fill the form. So for example, John Doe is the new client that we would like to work with. His email is john at the Does, let's say the Does.com. Industry, let's say personal injury lawyer. And the required services are going to be marketing data analysis, and the start date that we agree on is going to be April 1st. So what I'm going to do is to submit this form, and as we can see, the process has been started, the workflow has been started. It's doing multiple things here. We'll dive into it in a second. And then now I'll minimize myself. And then we can see that a draft created. When I'm going to my Gmail, I can see that there is a new draft here. And if I'll open that, I can see that I have a subject. Welcome to Shift. Let's get started on April 1st, 2026. Hey, John, welcome to Shift. We are excited to partner with you on marketing data analysis for your personal injury law practice. So I'll update it to the law firm because this is what his business is about. As agreed, we will begin our engagement on April 1st. And as you can see, it's incorporate here everything that we entered into the form. It's a draft that's ready to be sent, and it can save us a lot of time and work and manual work on this onboarding draft. And of course, once we are trusting the process, we can automate that in a way that it will auto send that. So let's dive into what I built here in terms of like the workflow. So I built it on n8n, which is an automation tool that I'm using. And the first step in this automation is, as you can see, we have here a form. We define the form, but showing us what the inputs that we expecting to get from the client, not the client actually, from for example, someone in our organization. So we expect to get the full name, which is the text input. We expect to get an email address that we'll be able to send to. We expect to get an industry, and we expect to get the required services that we agreed with the client that we are going to provide. Now, on the required services, we decided that we would like to put it as a checkbox because later on we'll be able to put specific instruction to each one of the services and to describe them more in depth in order to put more information in the email. And lastly, we have the start date, which is a simple date field that we can input. So this was the first step. And as you can see, if we execute the workflow, we can see that there is a pop-up that asks us to input all the fields that we wanted. And obviously, we can embed this input in our website or in our internal portal of the company, so it will be accessible without going to n8n. So next up, I'll stop it here. So next up, there is the AI engine that this is the node that allow us to manipulate the data using AI LLM, large language models. In this case, it's connected to Anthropic. So if we go inside this, we can see that it's connected to Claude Sonnet, which is Claude Sonnet 4.5, which is not the newest model, but still we can decent output in a very cost-effective price. And in the AI engine, we can see, I'll enlarge it. we can see here the prompt that incorporate into the prompt all the inputs that we got from the form at the beginning of this workflow. So what I asked Claude to do is to write a personalized welcome email to, and then I put here the email address from Shift, which is my company. They are in the industry. This is the industry, for example, the PI law firm or home services or whatever. So they are in the home services industry and starting to work with us to get these services as service. We agreed to start on, and then I added the start date, and then I defined what should be the tone and what should be the structure of the email. So the tone should be professional yet friendly. Keep the mail short and straightforward. No fluff, please. I don't want that it will compose a big mail that looks like an AI. I want that it will be straightforward. I don't want to waste the time of the customer when reading that. Also, at the end, I adding a line that's saying, let them know that they will receive the separate email with the invoice and how to issue the payment via multiple option. So this is a question that repeatedly coming from customers. When we send the onboarding mail, then they say, okay, we didn't get the invoice yet, how we are going to pay for the service, etc., etc. So in our case, the invoice and the payment methods are going to be sent from the booking system. So I want to inform the customer that this is going to be from a separate source. The last line says return subject and body in 2 lines because we want that this model will send to the next step, which is composing the email. I want it will separate what is the topic, what is the subject of this email, and what is the body. So if I'll run this, separately, it's asking me again. So let's see, John Doe, John at I don't know, blah.com. This time, let's do it home services, or let's be more specific, attic installation. And they want automations and voice AI, and let's do the start date as the April 10th, and I'll submit that. So now we can see that it's running through this form, and it's going to the AI agent, and then we can see that we have here a subject, welcome to Shift, let's get started on April 10th, 2026, and we have a body, as you can see, if we can toggle to the table. No, we can't see it clearly, but this is the situation here. Now, the problem is that we can't put these in the email because we need to separate them into subject and body, of course. So this is the next node. The next node is a basic LLM chain. It's not like an agent that need to think and to understand what to do and which tools to use. It's a simple parser that allow us to take this output and to put it into a structured output that we want. For example, in our case, what we are doing here is we inputting the JSON output, the output that we have from the previous model. We use Anthropic as an AI model, and we define to this model that we expecting to get from this JSON, we're expecting to get this structure at the end. For example, if we're getting subject and body, we expect to get a JSON, which is a structure that contain the subject in a separate property and the body in a separate property. And the result of this, if we will run it, let's play this. Good. And the result of this, if we will dive into it, we can see that now the output is subject in one field and the body in the second field. Unlike, for example, the output of the AI agent that was in one output, both of them together, and then we can't use it. Now, I'll do say that there are models that can do that if we, for example, will write in the prompt, return the subject and the body in two separate fields. There are some models that will do that. Let's try this time. Not working. So there are some models that able to do that. For example, I know that OpenAI can do that, but in this implementation, I'm using Claude, and no matter what I tried, Claude can't do that, and he always returned that as one output, and we want to make sure that we are like protected, and this is the reason that we are adding this step before we arriving to the Gmail module. So that's the second, actually that's the third module. And the last module is a simple Gmail connection. We connect this to my Gmail, and I defined it that I want that the resource will be a draft. I don't want to send a message. I want it will be a draft. So we're creating a draft. The subject going to be the output that we have from, let me move this, the output that we have from the LLM chain step that we added before. So for sure we can know that we have a subject, and the second field is the body, as we can see here. Um, and the to mail is what we got from the form. So now we know that we are protected, that there is no way that we are not going to get the subject separately or the body separately. And from the form, we can assure that we get the mail too. So if we'll execute that, we can see that it's going to generate a new draft in my inbox. So I'll go to my Gmail. I'll refresh. It will take a second, and we can see that we have a new draft here, and the topic is different from the first one. Welcome to Shift. Let's transform your attic installation business. And this time it didn't edit the date, but obviously we can do that if you want, or to make the prompt more accurate. And here we can see, hi John, welcome to Shift. We are excited to partner with you to bring automation and voice AI. These are the services that he just asked. Solutions to your attic installation business. As confirmed, we'll begin our engagement on April 10, 2026. Our team is ready to help streamline your operation and enhance your customer interaction. As you can see, it's different than what we wrote here, what AI provide here. And you will receive the separate email shortly with your invoice and available payment option. Looking forward to working with you together. Best regard, Shift team. So that's what this very short workflow doing, and this is how I built it. We can So if you have in your business tasks that you are investing time to do, or you feel that they are taking more time than they should take, these kind of automations can help to streamline them and to automate them, and to prevent the late in sending the onboarding mail or something like that. So this was the onboarding automation. Let me know if you are looking for any other automation. I'll be more than happy to share what I'm doing.